Good morning. My name is Lila Allen. Welcome to Rune Reading Project Day 15. If this is the first one you've heard, please don't worry. There's no need to go back and check the other ones unless you need to, want to. Feel the overwhelming urge. This is a work in progress, but the premise is that I will do a rune reading every day, a general rune reading, so that I get the feeling of reading for clients as opposed to simply for myself. So I get the practice of saying it out loud and the practice of presenting and uploading to YouTube, creating an internet presence, as that might be a pushing off place for the future. It's an experiment to see how I feel about it and to see what kind of reception there is, and to help me quit going a lot. Some of the things we have learned, experimented with, are the different colors of the cloth I use for the base of the rune reading. Now I'm going to be really conscious of the ums. It is good, I feel, to have a cloth under the reading. One, to separate the reading or any form of divination or work from the table underneath, like a layer of silk. Two, because I use the cloth as part of the divination, as part of where the stones fall. They fall off the cloth. That implies something different than if they are on the cloth. If they are up towards the top of the cloth versus the base, that also, for me, gives an indication of things. So the way my readings have evolved includes a boundary, includes directions, and includes these bandanas that I enjoy and collect. Some of the readings, if you'll go back to the beginning, you'll notice that the first three, I believe, do not actually have readings with them. They're just the introductions. At that time, I had not figured out how to get the slideshows up and coordinate sound with slideshow. And it's possible I will never get those up. It's possible I might, but we'll see what happens. I have learned more about my camera, about the remote clicker, which by reading the instruction manual, I learned how to make the automatic shutoff time longer, so I can talk for more than a minute and still use my automatic clicker. I used to have to get up all of a sudden and go back and reset the camera. We have learned that some cloths take pictures better than others. And I have started trying it with a close-up lens so that the view of the stones is a little better. Also, yes, some of the readings I do ramble a lot at the beginning, and some I don't. I ramble at the end, and some I don't ramble at all. Okay, I don't think I ramble at all. So, the important thing to know from my point of view is that while I am giving each of these rune readings a day number, today is day 15, that is for labeling purposes. That is for those who start following, on a daily basis. But I firmly believe that the day you hear or read or see the rune reading is the day you need that information. Yes, I am doing a general rune reading for what we need to know today. But often I don't get this up on the net until tonight, which means a lot of people won't see it until tomorrow. Does that negate the information? No. People will see it when they need to see it. The other thing I keep harping on is that these are daily snapshots as opposed to a big overall view. So they can apply to little decisions as well as big ones. It is the little decisions that are the basis for all the big events. Deciding to turn left instead of right, if you watch Doctor Who. Deciding to go back and get your coat, and thus not being there when somebody speeds through the intersection. Deciding to give a little extra helping hand to someone you don't even know, and then it comes back to help you later. Or deciding not to help at a specific time and then later having the things that you need. All these little decisions create our future. And the future is not written in stone. It can change at any moment. These are simply tools to help us focus every day on the things that need a little extra thought. And I guess that's the end of my expounding today. So, let's go ahead and get started. And yes, if you listened to yesterday's, the breathing intro was not in there. Yesterday was an interesting day. Alright, settle back into a comfortable position and inhale through your nose. And exhale. Inhale again, following the breath in through the nose, down the back of the throat, down the chest, into the diaphragm, filling your body. You can feel the air going all the way to the ends of your fingers and the ends of your toes. And exhale, blowing out all tension, all resistance, letting a cloak of relaxation fall down over you. Once more, inhale, bringing our attention to this time and this place so that we know what we need to know. And exhale. Apologies, though it doesn't seem like it on your side. That took a little while. So what we have today are 5 runes. We have Jera, which is the harvest. We have the blank rune. I'm flipping it over so you can see that it's blank on both sides, which is the unknown. We have Dagaz reversed. Dagaz is contemplation, judgment. We have Raido reversed. Raido is movement. And we have Ehwaz, which is flow. symbiotic relationships. Jera, the harvest, is, well, the harvest. The thing about a harvest is what you put in is what you get out. If you do the work, then you get the result. You may not always get the result that you expect. With a harvest, there are outside factors such as rain, the actual kind of seed, how it grows, but you do get a result that equals the amount of effort you put into it. So, Jera, harvest. With the unknown next to it, it could be that this harvest that you're receiving is unexpected. It could be that it's not quite what you thought it would be, or it could be that we don't currently have information in for what form the harvest is going to appear. Here was Dagaz reversed, which to me indicates it's not something to sit and think about. It is not something that is going to bring a lot of soul searching. It is simply something that is. And here, Raido reversed. It's also not something that's going to bring a lot of forward movement. So there's no contemplation and there's no movement, but there is Ehwaz, which is the flow, the moving forward in perfect harmony with something or someone else. Ehwaz, as we discussed yesterday, can be the symbiotic relationship. The horse and the rider. Ehwaz itself stands for horse, or the flow of horses. And if you watch the movement of horses as they run, they could be considered telepathic. They turn and wheel and move like with the flow of a river and seem to all know which way they're going in this huge dance. When a rider joins them, a good rider becomes part of that dance. They communicate seamlessly with each other. They become one being. A symbiotic relationship can sound scary. We use it in terms of viruses. But it is a natural relationship. It's a you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours, or I am big and I will protect you and in return you will provide me food. Each side of the partnership, of the relationship, gets something that they could not have gotten without the other person, or other being, or other energy. So before we get too far off track, Jera the harvest, we're not sure what form it is going to take, or even the basis of the harvest, because we've been working on a lot of stuff through the year. Just surviving is a big one that we've been working through. So we are going to receive some of that harvest today. There's nothing really to think about when we get the harvest. And in a way it feels that it hasn't really moved us forward. So it could be a partial harvest, not enough to really launch the next thing, not enough to buy the big gift, not enough to have to sit down and say, well, I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this. Just a little bit of harvest that will come in to encourage us to keep doing what we're doing, letting us know that we're on the right track, because it will continue the flow, it will continue the harmony, it will continue driving that relationship that we have. In my case, a symbiotic relationship could be me and you. Like I said, I'm here trying to do readings, practicing my technique. I am doing readings, practicing my technique and the flow of language, and doing it out loud, and doing it for others, not just for myself. And I have really awesome hand gestures that you have yet to see. And so I need you, whoever you are, invisible person at the other end of this microphone and the other end of this camera, to speak to. Like any performer, I need an audience, someone to communicate with. Communicating with myself is all very well and good, but it's very easy for me to say, oh yeah, this, really quick, and not to delve into it, not to say it out loud. Sometimes the connection between brain and mouth is a hard one to forge through, and saying it out loud helps give the words and the thoughts form. I don't know if you've had this phenomenon where you think something, you're really in the middle of an intense thought or conversation, and something distracts you. It would be thoughts, since we're thinking about thinking as opposed to speaking. You think something, you've got an idea, something distracts you, and you go back and reach for the idea, and it's gone. It is amorphous. It is in the ether, as one of my favorite authors likes to say, Mercedes Lackey. So saying it out loud gives it its own life. It gives it a presence, helps turn the thoughts and intangible ideas into something more solid. It is, in a way, a commitment. This is what I think this says today. Therefore, I need you to be at the other end. Now, you could be anybody. You might not even be there today, but I believe that you are there. You need something to distract you, or someone to open your world a little bit, or some more information, and therefore you need me to supply that, to give you more information, to explain something to you, or to give you something to go, don't like it, move on. So it is a symbiotic relationship that we have. And some of us don't even know each other. The horse and rider is another symbiotic relationship. The rider directs the horse. The rider cares for the horse, and in return, the horse takes the rider where they want to go. And that is a relationship that develops over time. There's the wild horse, so the rider had to, in some form, tame the horse and train the horse, but at the same time the horse trained the rider, and together they move forward in art form. Yes, I'm a girl, I like horses. So, to get us back on track, we have this harvest that is going to come, that is not necessarily, or that we don't have information on the size or on how it's going to manifest itself, but a bit of harvest is coming in. It's not something that we really need to think about what to do with, and it's not something that's really going to forward our plans. It's not going to create a lot of movement. Just a nice little harvest coming in to let us know that we are on the track that we want to be on, or if we decide it's not quite what we were looking for, to help us change the track. work on that harmony so that as we move forward, the harvests that we get in the future will be more in tune with what we want. And I think that's it for the day. Let's do a quick pull for going on with. Yeah, there's not really... They're both reversed, so we have Ehwaz reversed, and we have Perthra reversed, which just means it's not really a seed that's being planted, and it's not outside influences that are affecting us. These are, I don't know, mid-season harvest to let us know how things are going. If we like the direction they're in, there's still a lot of work to do moving forward. Thank you very much. I don't even think I'm going to do an ending video today since I bent your ear off in the middle of the reading. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to send them to lila@uniqueallen.com, which I have hopefully put up on the slide right there for you. Thank you very much for listening today, and I hope you have a great day.